Genesis 21 through 25, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Isaac was born. Isaac sacrificed, substitute ram. Sarah died. Isaac married Rebekah, inheritance for a bowl of soup. In Genesis 21, Abraham's promised son Isaac is born, just as it was promised in Genesis 18. Isaac looked like a robot. Beep bop boop. The promise of Isaac was also given in Genesis 17, but it was given again with more emphasis in Genesis 18. But we're looking at Genesis 21. In 21, Isaac was born. Isaac's mother, Sarah, kicks Hagar and Ishmael out of the house. That way, Isaac has no competition from Ishmael. Sibling rivalry, you know? So Hagar was out there in the wilderness again, and God watched out for her again. Very similar to Genesis 16. But this is Genesis 21. It's different. Oh, and do you remember Abimelech from Genesis 20? Well, he's back. In Genesis 21, Abraham makes a treaty with Abimelech at Beersheba. A whole lot happens in 21. Isaac was born, Hagar and Ishmael are in the desert, and a treaty with Abimelech, all in chapter 21. In Genesis 22, God called Abraham to sacrifice his promised son Isaac. After Abraham proved his faith by his obedience, God provided a substitution, a ram, to sacrifice instead. Child sacrifice was common in Bible times. The idea that God would provide a substitute in place of Abraham's son, that distinguished Abraham's God from all other gods. In Genesis 23, Abraham's wife Sarah died. She was old, really old. The people in the region mourned and offered to give Abraham a cave to bury her for free. Abraham insisted on paying for the tomb. In Genesis 24, Abraham wanted a wife for his son Isaac, so Abraham sent his servant up north to Abraham's relatives to find a good old-fashioned lady for his son Isaac. There is a very beautiful story about this girl Rebekah. She ends up serving the man's camels, and she agreed to go with him to marry Isaac. And it's kind of implied that right when Isaac and Rebekah met, they were married and did the diddly. Beep bop boop. Chapter 24 is the longest chapter in Genesis. That's why the blue box is so long. In Genesis 25, Abraham died, and there is a genealogy of Ishmael. Then Isaac and Rebekah have twin sons, Esau and Jacob. Esau was born first, so he was supposed to inherit the greater portion of Abraham's possessions, and he was supposed to inherit the promise God gave to Abraham in Genesis 12. But Jacob was sneaky. When Esau was famished, Jacob sold him a bowl of soup for the inheritance. Esau foolishly made the trade. Big mistake. Let's reinforce what you just learned from the Bible Recall Memory Palace. These quizzes are not to test what you already know. They are to reinforce what you are currently learning. So take a guess on each one, even if you know you're wrong. In which chapter was Isaac born? Chapter 21. Also, the treaty with Abimelech was in chapter 21. In which chapter was Sarah buried? Chapter 23. Sarah died and was buried in 23. In which chapter did God call Abraham to sacrifice his promised son, Isaac? Chapter 22. God called Abraham to sacrifice Isaac. In which chapter did Isaac marry Rebekah? Chapter 24. Isaac married Rebekah. Good, one more. Remember, if you watch this video tomorrow, 1 week from now, 1 month from now, and 3 to 6 months from now, you can remember this all your life. In which chapter did Esau give away the inheritance for a bowl of soup? Chapter 25. Great stuff. If you and a group of your friends truly seek God together, it will dramatically change your lives. If you learn what's in every chapter of the Bible together, then together we can change the world. Amen.